Yo, 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 this your boy, the Real McCoy, coming at you, man. Talking about boxing for all my boxing heads out there, man. Talking about another good heavyweight fight, man. Charles Martin, Dominic Breazeale. You know what I mean? Two U.S. prospects. You know what I mean? Trying to make the come up. You know what I'm saying? The come up in a up and coming heavyweight division, man. You know what I'm saying? Charles Martin and Dominic Breazeale is kind of like what the UK got with Anthony Joshua versus Dillian White. I personally think that Dillian White and Anthony Joshua is a little bit bigger than this fight here, because even here in the US, Dominic Breazeale and Charles Martin, they're not as known here in the even here in the US than Joshua and Dillian White are in the UK. You know what I mean? But you know, it's good to have two young prospects coming up, man. The heavyweight division, man, that might be where it's at, man. That might be where it's at. It's on the come up. It's definitely on the come up, man. So this is another good fight here. Two prospects trying to work their way up, things like that. Charles Martin, you know, he's 6'5", I think like an 80-inch reach, 29 years old. He usually weighs in about 240 to 250. Dominic Breazeale, I think he's 30 years old, I believe. I could be wrong. 6 feet 7 inches, 81-inch reach, and he usually weighs in about 250, 260. You know, got some big boys here, especially Breazeale, some big boys. You know what I mean? Charles Martin is what, 22-0-1 with 20 knockouts. Dominic Breazeale 16-0, 14 knockouts. You know what I mean? Things like that. A good, meaningful, impactful fight. I did my boxing rant video. You know what I mean? I like impactful fights. I mean, I love boxing in general. But you know, you get two young prospects coming up. You know what I mean? This is a good, impactful fight for what seems to be a more clouded, deeper heavyweight division. You know what I'm saying? So a good, impactful fight for the heavyweight division. Breazeale, he's the more pure boxer, which is good, but he's lacking in a lot of areas. You know, not a lot of head movement. He doesn't really change the levels. You know what I mean? As far as, you know, dipping down. You know what I mean? Because head movement, changing the levels, going like that, though, that creates angles for counter punching, things like that. You know, he stands tall sometimes, a little bit too tall. He fights stiff. You know, so he's a good boxer, which is what you want. You want to learn the fundamentals of boxing. But you know, so he's too stiff with it. You know, got a okay jab, not great jab. He's suspect to get hit by the left hook, kind of like Amir Khan. Stands tall the entire fight, not a lot of head movement. You know, if he throws, like Customato used to tell Mike Tyson, you throw your punch or your combination, move your head, get out of there. Don't be a sitting target. And he's definitely a sitting target. You know, I mean, boxing is more than just standing tall behind my jab. You know what I mean? It's footwork, it's head movement, slipping punches. You know what I mean? Changing your levels, things like that. You know, that's boxing, and those are some of the things that he really doesn't do. Kind of reminds me of Canelo at times. He goes through these, talking about Breazeale here, Dominic Breazeale, goes through these spurts where he doesn't throw punches. He allows smaller fighters to push him back against the ropes, things like that. Kind of reminds me of Canelo sometimes, things like that. And like I said, he stands tall behind his jab. You know, those things are good, but that's really about it. You know what I mean? He doesn't really move his head at all. He kind of telegraphs his punches, because what I mean by that is he has to see it. He has to see the opening, and then he'll throw the punch. And sometimes it's too late. You know what I mean? He's not really that accurate. Doesn't really have fast hands. And you know, and if that's the case, if you gotta see it, because he's real. Because I'm trying to explain, like with Floyd Mayweather and guys like Klitschko, the skill guys, sometimes they're a little bit more patient, you know, picking their shots, and then they, you know what I mean, come out, you know, and those type of fighters are a little bit more accurate. With him, he takes patience to a whole new level, to where if he doesn't even see an opening, he won't even throw a punch at all. You know what I mean? and you get somebody like Charles Martin who's coming forward with aggression, with power. You don't want to get too patient. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to get too patient, and you know, with Breazeale, no, he's suspect to the left hook. You know what I mean? Now, Charles Martin, he's southpaw. You know, he's southpaw. So, you know, with his straight left hand, you know what I mean, things like that, he's not coming at, you know, the hooking angle unless he loops it, which Martin doesn't really do that often. He's more of the straight left, kind of like a Manny Pacquiao from the southpaw position. But with Breazeale, his last fight with Fred Cassie, he had height, reach, weight advantage, power, all those things, but he still allowed Cassie to get on the inside and back him up and push him against the ropes. You know, when he fought was it Homero? He fought Homero Fonseca. Fonseca weighed in like 298 pounds. On fight night, he was clearly over 300. You know, matter of fact, I believe Homero Fonseca, his last fight, which he won, he weighed in at 305. You know, big guy, big belly, you know what I mean? Short arms, and he was landing left hooks. But I think they finally stopped the fight after the second or third round. Homero's corner basically told me, dude, you out of shape. you just not in shape. But he was landing hooks on Breazeale. Breazeale, see, guys like that, his last fight against Cassie, he has a height, weight, reach advantage, power advantage, things like that. The more skilled boxer. But for whatever reason, he doesn't make the smaller guys pay. He has to see the opening. He's really patient, and you know, while you just sitting there trying to pick your spots, the other guy's gonna beat you to the punch. You know, Fonseca's landing left hooks, Caspy's getting on the inside of him, pushing him back. Sometimes it's even worse than Canelo. You know what I mean? But Canelo goes through his spurts where now Canelo, he did a lot better of that. About a lot better job of that against Cotto. But Canelo, he was known for his moments where he would just cover up, not punch, go through his spurts, things like that. Dominic Breazeale, he does it a lot. He does it all the time, you know. And, you know, it's good to be a skilled boxer, but, you know, you got to get some type of head movement. I mean, if you're not moving your head, then I know where you're going to be at the entire time. You know, he's easy to, let's say he's easy, but he can be countered. So he doesn't really have fast hands, and he has to see the opening before then he'll throw. He doesn't really know how to set a trap, anything like that. His athleticism is okay. He tends to fight flat-footed a lot, things like that. Good power though, good power. But you know, when you fight somebody like Charles Martin, who's coming with the power, with the aggression. You know, coming from the southpaw, he's southpaw stance, things like that. You know, with Charles Martin, he's a good athlete. He's got fast hands. Now, sometimes he does tend to get a little wild and reckless, especially if he thinks he has you hurt. But like I say, if with Dominic Breazeale, with him being so patient, Charles Martin's probably going to be beating him to the punch all night. You know, you're waiting for your opening, so okay, you get hit. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes, even with Charles, no fighter is perfect. With Charles Martin, he's southpaw, and sometimes when he tries to throw the jab or a hook, a lead right hook, he overextends. Like he steps too far forward. You know what I mean? And when your feet are too far apart, you know what I mean, you can get off balance. Anybody can just tip you, and you can get off balance. You know what I'm saying? And especially, if you step that far forward, a perfectly timed counter can knock you down. You know, it doesn't even have to be a power uppercut or a good timely accurate hook. Just the fact of you being off balance because you stepped too far forward, I mean that can knock you down. You know, he has a tendency to do that as well. But you know, with his power, with his aggression, he's a better athlete. He had the faster hands. Dominic Breazeale. So Breazeale, you know, I guess he's the better boxer. He tries to box, which is good, but he still has a lot of learning to do. You got to know, move your head, things like that. He's not a real good counter puncher. You know what I mean? Usually if the other guy is throwing punches, he's either exchanging with him, you know what I mean? Not really counter punch. They just punching together, you know what I mean? Or he's covered up. He's not a real good counter puncher. Charles Martin really isn't either. You know, but if your hands are faster than the other guy's hands, you know, you can beat him to the punch. And you know, with Dominic Breazeale's patience in the spurts where he don't throw punches, things like that. You know, Breazeale, he is more, you know, he can fight off his back foot. So he's the more of the boxer, things like that, where I haven't really seen Charles Martin fight off his back foot yet, because he's usually the more aggressive fighter, you know what I mean, behind his power and things like that. You know what I mean? And he can get a little wild and reckless at time too. You know, and he's just like a lot of young prospects. You know, he keeps his hands low. You know what I'm saying? He definitely keeps his hands low, and he has a tendency to pull straight back. You know what I mean? Keeping your hands low and pulling straight back can be dangerous. But at least he has some type of head movement. Where Dominic Breazeale, his head, you know where it's gonna be. He's right in front of you, head right there the entire time. No kind of. I mean, that's the type of stuff you should be training and working on in the gym. You gotta have head movement. I mean, it's duck hunt out here. I mean, not even duck hunt because your head's not even moving. It's target practice, should I say. You know, I'm just trying to line you up. I say Charles Martin does have the faster hands. He throws punches from not say wow, but from different angles, things like that. Say sometimes he leaves himself open to be countered as well. And Breazeale has some pretty good power too now. But so it should be a good fight, man. Boston Heads, you guys let me know what you guys think about the fight, man. Is it an exciting fight to you? Some of you guys may not know who Charles Martin is, or Dominic Breazeale. He's been on PBC before. It's with December 12th, right after right before the Luis Ortiz-Brian Jennings fight. I would like to see Luis Ortiz and if he beats Jennings, Luis Ortiz fight Charles Martin. You know what I mean? Just from the entertainment standpoint, two aggressive guys coming together, you know what I mean? Like, subscribe, leave a comment, all that good stuff. Let me know what you guys think, man. This your boy, The Real McCoy, man. I'm out. Peace.